Imagine a 15-year-old teenager who loved video games, built websites, and enjoyed hanging out with friends, just like millions of kids today. But after his death, the Catholic Church declared him a miracle worker. And now he's on the path to becoming a saint. Shocking, right? Today we're diving deep into the extraordinary story of Carlo Acutis, the so-called God's influencer. Was he really a miracle maker, or just a symbol for modern faith? And the big question, should a teenager truly be canonized as a saint? Let's find out. Carlo Acutis was born in London in 1991 to Italian parents, but grew up in Milan, Italy. From an early age, he was fascinated by computers, coding, and the internet. By the time most kids were just learning to type, Carlo was already designing websites. But unlike many kids his age, Carlo balanced his passion for tech with a deep love for his faith. He attended daily mass, prayed the rosary, and even convinced his parents, who were not very religious, to return to the church. Friends described him as kind, humble, and always ready to help others. Whether it was defending a bullied classmate or assisting the homeless, Carlo lived a life that seemed far beyond his years. Yet he wasn't perfect. He loved video games, especially Pokemon and PlayStation titles, and even admitted to setting limits for himself so he wouldn't get addicted. Carlo believed technology should be used for good, not wasted on endless scrolling or gaming. And that philosophy would soon define his short but powerful life. At just 11 years old, Carlo began working on what would become his greatest project, a website that cataloged every Eucharistic miracle recorded in the Catholic Church around the world. Think about it. While most teenagers were posting memes or playing hours of Fortnite, Carlo was building a digital archive of faith. His website gained international recognition and was later displayed in parishes and schools across continents. He often said, "The Eucharist is my highway to heaven." This dedication earned him the nickname God's influencer, because he showed how modern technology could spread ancient faith. He proved you don't need to be a priest, a monk, or a missionary to make an impact. Even a teenager with a laptop could inspire millions. But just when his journey seemed unstoppable, tragedy struck. At the age of 15, Carlo was diagnosed with an aggressive form of leukemia. In his final days, he offered his suffering to God, saying, "I offer all my suffering for the Pope and the Church." Despite the pain, he never lost his faith, even comforting others from his hospital bed. On October 12, 2006, Carlo Acutis passed away. His death shocked his family, friends, and thousands of people who had already begun following his online work. But this was not the end of Carlo's story. It was just the beginning. To be declared a saint in the Catholic Church, a person must be linked to verified miracles. Carlo Acutis has been credited with 2. The first happened in Brazil. A boy suffering from a rare pancreatic disorder was miraculously healed after praying through Carlo's intercession. Doctors said there was no medical explanation. The second miracle involved a woman in Florence who had serious health issues. After seeking Carlo's prayers, she too recovered in a way doctors couldn't explain. The Vatican investigated these cases extensively before declaring them legitimate, and with that, the path to sainthood was officially opened for Carlo. If canonized, he will become the first millennial saint in history, a symbol of faith in the digital age. In 2020, Pope Francis beatified Carlo, calling him a role model for young people in a digital world. And in July 2025, the Pope announced that Carlo will be canonized as a saint. This is a historic move. Saints are usually monks, nuns, or martyrs who lived centuries ago. But Carlo? He wore sneakers, played PlayStation, and coded websites. He was just like millions of kids today. That's what makes this decision so groundbreaking and controversial. The world's reaction has been mixed. Many young Catholics see Carlo as proof that holiness is possible in everyday life, that even a teenager with Wi-Fi and video games can become a saint. But critics argue that the Church may be rushing. Some say the miracles are not scientifically strong enough. Others feel that canonizing such a young figure might be more about marketing faith to the digital generation than genuine sainthood. So the debate continues. And this brings us to the central question: should Carlo Acutis really be a saint? On one hand, Carlo's life inspires millions. His kindness, humility, and dedication to faith in such a short lifespan are undeniably powerful. He represents hope, modernity, and a bridge between tradition and technology. On the other hand, some believe sainthood should not be influenced by popularity, media attention, or symbolism. They argue that true holiness must be measured beyond just miracles and good deeds. It requires timeless impact proven across generations. So what do you think? Is Carlo Acutis the future face of modern faith, or is this a step too far for the Vatican? Carlo Acutis was just 15 years old. He loved coding, he loved gaming, and he loved God. Whether or not you believe in miracles, his story forces us to rethink what holiness looks like in the 21st century. Maybe sainthood is no longer just about living in monasteries or performing ancient rituals. Maybe it's also about using the tools of today, like technology, to inspire and uplift humanity. But the final question is yours to answer. Should a teenager gamer really become a saint? Tell us what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more thought-provoking stories, and share this with someone who loves inspirational content.